Good morning and welcome to Unity in Lynnwood's Silent Meditation. Thank you for choosing to be here this day on this Mother's Day. My daughter has a nightshirt that she wears frequently, and it says, "Sometimes I open my mouth to speak and my mother comes out." Now, we all know that, those of us who are mothers, that does happen. I know that my mother made a great impression on me, and hopefully so did your mother. As we go in to silent meditation, if you would please take a moment to center yourself. Place your feet on the floor and think of Mother Nature flowing upwards throughout your body and releasing your light into the world. Close your eyes, if you haven't already, and go into your heart space, the place where God resides. Take in that deep breath and exhale. Take in another deep breath and exhale. Release all troubles, all anxiety. Rest in the center of where God lives. Embrace the silence. As silent meditation comes to a close, take a moment to breathe in and release the silence. Gently open your eyes and return to our sanctuary. We are grateful to be able to go into the silence, to feel the breath of God. We give thanks for all of our mothers and for a chance to celebrate them. We are grateful for your physical or your virtual attendance. As we look at this church, consider all of the people who contribute, all of the people who love each and every one of us. We give thanks for Dr. Richard and for Matthew and for all of those who volunteer of their time and their gifts. Go on your way in peace and in love, knowing that you are also greatly loved. And so it is.
Mother, sing through me. Mother, play a song so sweetly with these hands. Let me see with your vision. Let me feel with your boundless heart. Through these feet of mine walk the earth, and with my life give birth. Moonlight comforts me. Starry nights I feel myself alive. Silent friend comes to me when I'm still, very still. She comes to me inside.
Please join with me now as we turn our attention inward. I hope my words can speak for you too. As the warmth and the light of a beautiful spring day surround me, I open my inner awareness to a warmth and a light that reside within me. Each person carries a spark of divine oneness within. I hear this often. This morning, I stop to embrace the experience of that feeling in my body and my being. As I slow myself, turning attention to my inner space, it's as if my body begins to expand beyond its edges. My inner eye sees the radiance of my heart's energy moving beyond my physical body. I feel its warmth and its spaciousness. I imagine a divine heart energy radiating from all who have gathered today, both near and at a distance. For a moment, I allow myself to float in this field of warmth and love. These relaxed, nurturing energies reside within the human heart. Such a relaxed inner expansion invites feelings of gratitude. I bring to my mind now something for which I am grateful. As I rest in gratitude, I nurture body, mind, and soul. On this Mother's Day 2023, I honor, celebrate, and give thanks for all those who care for and nurture life on this green planet, lovingly referred to as Dear Mother Earth. And so it is.
And she whispers, serve the mother, she'll take care of everything. Serve the mother, she'll take care of everything. Serve the mother, she'll take care of everything. Serve the mother. Serve the mother, she'll take care of she'll take care of everything. mother, she'll take care of everything. Mother, sing through me. Mother, play a song so sweetly with these hands. Happy Mother's Day, UIL. It's great to see you all. You look amazing. If you will join me in singing our youth in, We Are the Light. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light in this world. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light in this world. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine so bright. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine so bright.
Should I go now? Yep. Okay. Sunlight looks different on this wall than it does on this wall, and a whole lot different on this wall over here. But it is still sunlight, just as one woman can be a mother to you, a sister to another, and an aunt to yet another. What you seek has many names but one existence. So stop looking for names. Move beyond names. Every war and conflict between human beings has happened because of names. Just beyond the arguing, where we all people are one, there is a long table of companionship, beautifully set, and just waiting for us to sit down.
The work is long. It involves written lessons and spoken lessons and service projects. And for the first time since 2009, Unity in Lynnwood is so proud to have in our midst one who has been elected by peers and adults alike to serve as a regional officer, or what we fondly call a Regie. So we celebrate this moment by acknowledging Zeno Madden.
It's really, I'm so proud of you. What a regional officer does will be facilitating and planning all of the youth camps for the next year. So Zeno here will be doing workshops and facilitating everything, really. We're proud of you. We are. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day and Happy Youth Sunday. Today is Youth Sunday, and so we are doing hospitality after service. We have gifts for you on your way out after service, and then if you'll join us in Friendship Hall, we have lots of special treats prepared by the youth that you see up here and serving you, and it's gonna be amazing. There's even little miniature cheesecakes back there, just saying. So come join us. We accept your love offering for this, and what the love offering does is facilitate these people to go to camps and do events, so 100% of your love offering will go to them. So we thank you in advance for that and for all of your past support. Speaking of camps, I just want to announce that Kids Camp has been announced, and we are accepting applications. So if you have 7 to 11-year-olds wanting to go to camp this summer. The dates are July 1st through the 4th. It is facilitated by YOU, which is our high school group, Youth of Unity. They plan the event, and they do it with, of course, support from the adults around them. Zeno is one of the camp counselors this year and is also planning that event. So it's going to be really fun, and I highly encourage you to get your kids there. I think that's it for me today. I hope to see you all in Friendship Hall.
Will you stand as you were able and join me in saying the youth blessing?
Yes, I also would like to point out just one more piece. Hasn't been maybe acknowledged enough today. I don't know. Zeno wrote this blessing for us all. We've changed it a little bit, so thank you, Zeno. Would you like to lead us?
You are the light of love in this world. You are the light of kindness in this world. Let it shine so bright.
And while they are exiting, will you greet one another and learn a new name while you're at it? We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright.
I think I'll just suggest that we find our way back to our chairs. I hate to break up greeting. It always seems wrong somehow, but... So good morning to all of you who have joined us here in person this morning, and to all of those who are joining from a distance. My name is Linda Babin, and I am the welcome host this morning. Let me begin with a sincere Happy Mother's Day. It has been said already a time or two, but I want to say it again to all the mothers, grandmothers. We may have great-grandmothers. Do we have any great-grandmothers among us? Oh, we do. Well, today we honor and celebrate you. While Mother's Day is an easy, pleasant day for many, I know that for others, it can be a little complicated, for many different reasons. And the answer to who was your very best nurturer may not be my mom. So please, on this special day, let's also celebrate all the others in our lives who were our very best nurturers. It might have been mom, but it might have been an aunt, a neighbor, an older sibling, a grandparent, a teacher, a friend, a work colleague. It might have been a minister. It might have happened when we were children. It might have happened after we became an adult. And our most loving nurturers may not always be women. In some cases, it's probably a warm, loving, compassionate, supportive man. Eric Butterworth, Unity minister, wrote an essay in 1975 honoring mothers on Mother's Day. Butterworth wrote, "The finest way to honor our mothers is to open our hearts to a new birth of love and peace within us." This brings me to one of the reasons why people come to Unity in Lynnwood. This is a place where we can join with others in community and learn and practice loving ourselves and others. In true community, there will always be opportunities for practice. Several 20th century unity teachers taught that the very best way to heal the wounds of a hurting world is to heal our own wounds, that we may grow in our capacity to bring love into the world. At Unity in Lynnwood, everyone is welcomed into this very journey. We are an open, inclusive, diverse community. You will find people here from different backgrounds, different religions, different lifestyles. We want everyone to feel comfortable here. You won't find dogma or doctrine. You're apt to find open, inquiring folks that are eager to share about their journeying with you. We hope you will be able to stay after service this morning, especially now that we know that there are cheesecake treats. That kind of caught my attention. We'll move across to the Friendship Hall after service if you are able to stay and enjoy a little fellowship time together and hopefully meet a new person, make a new friend. Welcome to everyone to Unity in Lynnwood this morning.
Holy Mother, Holy Mother, my heart longs to be free. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, dissolve me into thee. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, my heart longs to be free. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, dissolve me into thee. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, please purify my mind. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, let me feel your love divine. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, please purify my mind. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, let me feel your love divine. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, hold my hand within your hand. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, let me feel all that I am. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, hold my hand within your hand. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, let me feel all that I am. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, my heart longs to be free. Holy Mother, Holy Mother, dissolve me into thee.
of it, it really comes down to one idea, so simple yet powerful, expressed through all major religions, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Such a moral compass can be violated in the most destructive of ways, in war, for example, where one can see a collective enemy as the other, and there's a true loss of our shared humanity. That as humans, we are all equally human and feeling. But there are times in the midst of conflict when that line of separation is dissolved. I don't know if any of you saw the news story that came out last year from Ukraine, a beautiful story about Ukrainians who took care of and fed a captured Russian soldier, even helping him to contact his mother. So in honor of the conflict and all of the tragedy currently happening in Ukraine, we are going to perform Rachmaninoff's beautiful Vocalese.
Right here, Sunday, June 4th, Strands of Compassion. It's been written. Internationally acclaimed concert artists, Christoph Wagner, cellist, and Dr. Joanne Kong, pianist, launch UIL's summer concert series. We hope to see you here. It promises to be a beautiful, beautiful evening. Oh, I'd like to begin by thanking those who were on campus yesterday, many members of Unity in Lynnwood's men's group. If you enjoyed the newfound beauty as you pulled into the parking lot, would you acknowledge those in service simply by offering a round of applause? Many thanks to that group. For those who are newer to Unity in Lynnwood, you are welcome to enjoy the wedding and event gazebo area where the majority of their work occurred by walking past the shuttle, walking past the shed, and then following the trail behind the building. Please use the handrail. You're welcome to do that following service today. It is stunning. It was the brainchild and the design of our own Tim Vokes. Special thanks to you, Tim. If you are a member of our virtual sanctuary this morning, we invite you to identify your geography, drop a first name into, oh my goodness, and just like that, drop a first name into the social media chat window. Please greet one another. Let our prayer chaplain on duty know how we might support you in prayer today by using that social media chat window. Today, Ursula and Dale, Pascaline from Nairobi, and Dallery, Chris, Tyler, Deborah, Tyler, I don't recognize your name. Welcome from Eatonville. DVW, Tom Saxon, Jennifer, and so many more. Members of the physical sanctuary this morning, I would invite you to welcome the members of the virtual sanctuary by looking at Nathan right over here, focusing your attention toward that camera and repeating after me, hey, hey. Welcome. We see the highest truth of you. We believe in the soul of you. We hold the highest truth of you. Welcome. 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 If you would like to pray with someone following the conclusion of our time together, trained prayer chaplains will happily support you by meeting you in this general geography. If you are a prayer chaplain in service to this community today, would you identify yourself by raising a hand or standing, please? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And if you are a member of our virtual sanctuary this morning and you desire to pray with someone following the conclusion of this time together, start the process by writing prayer@unityinlynnwood.org. That is an email address. Include a working telephone number and expect a call within the next couple hours. You read every word of my recent e-blast, and I just want to thank you for that. You did not miss a detail. No one's making eye contact with me. I invited you in that e-blast to send me your story. To send me your story for something of a ritual that I have created around the Memorial Day weekend Sunday. We have a tendency in our culture to learn far too much about each other when we're dead. Let us accept this as a spiritual discipline to see each other fully while we're here together. Send me those stories that you might expect to be told as part of a memorial service, and they will be woven as possible into a Sunday lesson. They will be anonymous. Your name will not be used. If that speaks to you, I look forward to hearing from you. What I can tell you is that you are surrounded by amazing people right here, right now. Take a look around if you feel so courageous. Know that you are looking upon another who has an amazing history, who has profound gifts, dynamic contributions, infinite depths. Our mission statement is short in word, but it is long in meaning. It reads as follows: a practical spirituality, welcoming community. I often refer to Unity in Lynnwood as radically inclusive. And so it is that every week I like to support this mission statement with one of the sentences designed to bring it into greater specificity. We wrote these together with your Board of Trustees in late 2014. Today I offer the fifth of six, and it reads as follows: we actively seek and enthusiastically include truths from all great spiritual traditions. Today will be no exception. Allow the words of invocation to find you in the manner best suited to you today. You may whisper, you may read, you may close your eyes and allow these words of invocation to have their way with you, perhaps. They read as follows: though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. And so it is that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. What a nice thought. What a nice thought. What a powerful affirmation. For those who might be joining us for the first time, whether in our physical sanctuary or in our virtual sanctuary, what's happening is I have brains that are... That's not true. That's not true. It's just big ear syndrome. That's what's going on right there. If you're joining us for the first time, we're in the third of a series drawn from the Four Agreements. It's a text by Don Miguel Ruiz, who asserts that each of us, beginning at birth, was indoctrinated into the ways of a collective dream by our parents and by our friends, our schools, educators, churches, and of course, media and social media. And the ways of this collective dream would teach us what clothes to wear, what languages to speak, what friends to accept, what parts to shave. The ways of this collective dream would demonstrate how to relate to the so-called opposite gender, how to relate to the so-called same gender, how to relate to these people over here, which can mean any number of things, and how to relate to those people over there, which can mean any number of things. The ways of this collective dream would provide the foundation for our values, the core for our morality. The ways of this collective dream would seek to define the height of our personal worth, the reach of our personal potential. And if you don't believe me, just think about how the collective dream of the 1950s would seek to define the height of personal worth for non-whites. Or think about how the collective dream of the 1950s would seek to define the reach of personal potential for women. Did you know that the ECOA granted women the right to have their own credit cards in 1974? 1974, not 18. The ways of this collective dream would infuse our concepts of the very universe in which we live as friendly or hostile, as for you or against you, as Helen Keller's daring adventure or nothing at all. And because we as children quite simply didn't know any better, each of us adopted this collective dream as our own, at which point the outer dream became the inner dream, or what the author calls a personal book of law. All parts of a self-perpetuating process he calls the domestication of humans. Entire lives have been constructed on books of law which tell us that if someone over there gets more, we over here get less. That it's a dog-eat-dog, survival of the fittest battle, defined by scarcity and ruled by competition. Entire lives have been constructed on books of law which tell us that humanity fits neatly into one of two genders, that humanity can truly be reduced to two fundamental categories based entirely upon whatever pieces and parts happen to be attached to one's front side. I call this the Archie Bunker Book of Law. You remember Archie? Sitting at the piano with Edith, longing for the days when Goyles were Goyles and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like, Herbert Hoover again. Entire lives have been constructed on a well-celebrated book of law, which tells us that we're here to pay dues by going to the same soul-squashing, creativity-crushing, mind-melting job every day, every week, every year, so that we someday in the distant future might finally collapse into some pleather chair with a can of beer in one hand and a remote control in the other, that we might watch the fishing channel as our wrists turn green under the gold-plated band of some cheap retirement watch. Entire lives have been constructed on books of law which would have us believe that our ways, that our systems, that our people, our geographies, that our religions are quite simply superior. From what I can tell, pretty much all of us grew up learning that no matter gotta watch my notes. Pretty much all of us grew up believing that no one does it, whatever it is, that no one does it quite the way we do it here in the South, or here in the East, or here in the desert, or here in the mountains. Pretty much all of us grew up learning that no one does it, whatever it is, the way we do it here. So the problem with this personal book of law is that it contains some pretty big lies, you see. And when the wisdom of a heart bumps into one of these lies, when the wisdom of a heart challenges a world defined by scarcity and ruled by competition, as an example, or when the wisdom of a heart challenges a humanity defined by whatever pieces and parts happen to be attached to one's front side in any given incarnation, we arrive at a choice point. And as you will remember from the first 2 weeks, the author encourages that if you want to live a life of love and joy and fulfillment, you'll have to find the courage to break those agreements. So the first of the author's 4 new agreements, of course, be impeccable with your word. Be without sin in your speech is one possible translation. By using the power of the word. Now, this is a concept which is widely explored in both Hebrew and Christian scriptures, by the way, by using the power of the word to cast spells of light and truth. It's the first agreement. The second of the author's 4 new agreements, don't take anything personally. Don't take anything personally. Now, the problem, according to the author, is that as part of the domestication process, we develop the arrogant assumption that everything is about us. And the solution, according to the author, is the remembering that it's not. That everything is not about us. As we discussed last Sunday, the opinions and actions of others are reflections of their own inner dreams, reflections of their own books of law. So our first response to the opinions and actions of others maybe is to say something akin to, well, look at you. Thank you for showing me that little piece of you today. Well, look at you. That's when you say it. Well, look at you. Thank you for showing me that little piece of you today. Thank you for showing me that little piece of you today. And I say it's our first response because if you want to go back later and take it personally, you can. You can. But it's not where we start. It's not where we start. Which brings us to the third of the author's 4 new agreements. Don't make assumptions. Now, this is a fun one because let me tell you, I can make up some stories. I can make up some stories. I imagine I'm in good company today when I say I can make up some stories. It might be my Midwestern roots, I don't know. A congregant leaves before the service is over and, oh, clearly so-and-so is mad at me. The story chimes forth. The cashier at the car wash gives me my change. Well, clearly so-and-so has a crush on me. Someone waits too long to respond to my text message. Anybody? Somebody waits too long to respond to my text message. Well, clearly so-and-so is offended. Or clearly so-and-so is swamped. Or so-and-so is disinterested. Or clearly so-and-so has fallen and she can't get up. Oh, I can make up some stories. You invite me to your house for the big get-together, and my mind fashions a dozen reasons why you did. Or you don't invite me to your house for the big get-together, and my mind fashions a dozen reasons why you didn't. So this third agreement is a fun one. And yet again, this agreement isn't unique to the author's Toltec tradition. We find it in the words of the historical Buddha who said, don't make assumptions about others. A person is destroyed by holding judgments about others. We find it in the words of the Prophet Muhammad, beware, for assumption is the falsest of speech. The falsest of speech. We find it in the words of the gospel writer who said, if you don't want them making up stories about you, don't make up stories about them. That's a bit of a paraphrase. Of course. Don't make assumptions is a lot like the golden rule. It's one of those universal thoughts which seem to rise in every faith tradition. Now, Mr. Ruiz explains, and I quote, we have the need to understand everything in order to feel safe. It's not important that the answer is correct. The answer itself makes us feel safe. And this is why so many cling to their sweeping answers about the Muslims or about the Christians, the gays, the trans, about the rich, about the poor, the young, the old, about that political party. The list of ridiculosity really has no end. If you've been here a while, you've heard me say it this way: most prefer the comforts of a tidy lie to the vulnerabilities of a messy truth. And I can think of no richer arena than religion for this dynamic. At the moment, your personal book of law about religion begins to fail you, there comes an endless array of souls eager to sell you a new one, wrapped in self-righteousness and complete with easy-to-follow instructions, which will completely absolve you from any meaningful inner participation in your spiritual life whatsoever. The fine print offers a long list of conditions and exclusions, of course, all yours for the low price of mindless obedience. Never mind the self-evident truth that Providence granted you a brain. The author, we have the need to understand everything in order to feel safe. So we have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. We make assumptions about what others are doing. We make assumptions about what others are thinking. We make assumptions about what others are feeling. It plays out something like this. We make the assumption, then we take the assumption we made personally, and then we respond to the fantasy we created with words which are more often than not less than impeccable. We respond with words which are more often than not something of a dark spell. We make the assumption. Then we take the assumption we've made personally. Then we respond to the fantasy we've created over and over and over again. And this is the same time-honored tradition that has left generations of spouses sleeping on couches, generations of friendships abandoned, generations of partnerships dissolved, generations of dreams unfulfilled, even generations of peoples at war. We are storytelling, meaning-ascribing machines. The problem is that we're really not very good at telling the right story or ascribing the right meaning. I myself engineered a meeting among a bunch of really busy people, even this past week. Now, why in the world did I do that? Well, I did it because I am a storytelling, meaning-ascribing machine. And what did I learn? Well, I learned that we're not really very good at telling the right story or ascribing the right meaning. The author goes so far as to say, and I quote, "All the sadness and drama you've lived with in your life was rooted," this just sounds big, doesn't it? "Was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally." And he continues with a promise. He says, "The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly, free of emotional poison." He boldly goes so far as to assert that if all humans could communicate in this way, there would be no wars, there would be no violence, no misunderstandings. All human problems would be resolved if we could just have good, clear communication. End quote. Wow. Wow. So we arrive at the obvious question. if we're willing to entertain the possibility that this is true, or if we're willing to entertain the possibility even that there's truth in this, then why do we continue to make assumptions in the first place? I suggest that the answer is twofold. Why do we continue to make assumptions in the first place? Because we don't have the courage to ask questions. Boy, that was a lot of people looking down very quickly on that one. In our need to understand everything, we have gained the ability to adopt quick answers, but we have lost the ability to explore good questions. And why do we continue to make assumptions in the first place? Number two, because we don't have the courage to make requests. Because we don't have the courage to ask questions, and because we don't have the courage to make requests. Now, to this side, I will say, because we don't have the courage to ask questions, and because we don't have the courage to make requests. If you loved me, you would just know. Over time, we eventually hear ourselves saying things such as, "Who are you anyway? I don't think I even recognize you anymore." Things like, "Well, I sure didn't see that coming." And ultimately, it's because we haven't exercised courage. And if this dynamic wreaks such havoc in our individual relationships across the family Thanksgiving table, imagine the damage it can do in our collective relationships across the divides of culture, across the divides of religion, geography. So if courage is the problem, maybe we can consider that courage is the solution. Maybe that can be something of an affirmation we carry this week. I'm willing to carry it. It reads as follows: I am courageous for truth. I am courageous for truth. I'm willing to ask questions. I'm willing to make requests. Why? Because I am courageous for truth. Let's take a bit of a breath together. And if you're comfortable doing so, let's close the outer eyes. Let us prepare the physicality of us to be receptive. If that means placing your feet upon the floor, do so. For 3, maybe 4 minutes, let us reflect upon the affirmation that states, I am courageous for truth. Maybe it appears upon the screen of your imagination. Where we can observe it, feeling compelled neither to accept nor reject. I am courageous for truth. Helps to speak it aloud or quietly, please do. I am courageous for truth. And as this statement invokes something of a consciousness, we can then ask, how might this call me to ask a good question this week? You might already know what it is. How might this call me to make a request? I am courageous for truth. How would such a statement have its way with me? And we listen. We observe. We breathe.
The Lord is my shepherd. I have all I need. She makes me lie down in green meadows. Beside the still water she will lead. She restores my soul. She rights my wrongs. She leads me in a path of good things and fills my heart with song. Even though I walk through a dark and dreary land, there is nothing that can shake me. She has said she won't forsake me. I'm in her hand. She sets a table before me in the presence of my foes. She anoints my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely, surely goodness and kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will live in her house forever, forever and ever. Glory be to our Mother and Daughter, and to the Holy of Holies, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
I don't see how we could beat that for heart-opening music and courage-inspiring words. Thank you, Matthew and Richard. We are blessed. This morning, as we prepare for offering, let's pause in gratitude again. As I give, I also remember all that I have and all that I've received. I bless the gifts that I'm about to give, whether it's in my hand or just held in my mind's eye. I remember, too, that giving is another form of spiritual practice. We offer opportunities to practice giving and receiving at Unity in Lynnwood in order to bring ourselves into alignment with the reciprocal nature of the universe. Life just works like that. Of course, our gifts matter to Unity in Lynnwood, the organization, but we know that the act of giving matters to us as individuals as well. Thank you in advance for all financial gifts given today, and I thank you too for any and all gifts of service, many happening around here. They are priceless.
So I couldn't let a Mother's Day go by without doing this song. We recorded it on my first album, and while I didn't write it, I certainly could have.
There were wind chimes in the window, bells inside the clock, an organ in the corner, and tunes in the music box. We sang while we were cooking or working in the yard. We sang although our lives were really hard. There was music in my mother's house. There was music all around. There was music in my mother's house, and my heart still feels full with the sound. She taught us all piano, though my sister had the ear. She could play the harmony to any tune she'd hear. Now I don't claim much talent, but I've always loved to play, and I guess I will until my dying day. There was music in my mother's house. There was music all around. There was music in my mother's house, and my heart still feels full with the sound. It all comes back so clearly, although I'm far away. She gave me the kind of gift I love to give away. And when my mother died and she'd sung her last song, we sat in the living room singing all night long, singing la la la, la la, singing the front porch songs, singing the old torch songs, la la la, la la, singing the hymns to send her home. There was music in my mother's house. There was music all around. There was music in my mother's house, and my heart still feels full with the sound.
So much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Matthew. When I heard that Matthew was going to sing this song earlier before folks arrived, I ran into the Soul Gifts store and Gifts and Bookstore, Soul Things. I wanted everyone to know that that song is on this album of Matthew's that is sold there, and actually there are two of Matthew's albums sold there, and I saw many others besides myself having a really hard time not singing with him, because many of us have listened to this album now maybe hundreds of times. Thank you, Cameron, for putting the text to give. I skipped that little spot, and I do want to mention also, since I did not already mention it, that if you are interested in planned giving, legacy giving, joining Givers Circle, just stop on back to the Welcome and Information Station, and you can gather a little information about that there. We pause here to ask if we have anyone that's not been with us before. We love to welcome our newcomers, just with a round of applause. Do we have any hands going up in the air today? Oh, we do. Thank you. Thank you always to brave souls. We try not to put people on the spot. But I like to point out to those who are new or who haven't completely oriented themselves to Unity in Lynnwood, we have these information cards right in the back of the chair in front of you, and they share information as well, including a stay in touch card if you'd like to be on the mailing list, which just means a couple of emails a month. That's an opportunity to do that. You could give this to an usher as you leave or bring it to me back at the welcome and information station. There's a prayer request form here as well. So I do direct all newcomers back to the welcome and information station. And not just newcomers. I'm always quite surprised when I spend a little time back there to see all the brochures, all the information packets, all of what's happening. It even includes some things that are happening beyond Unity in Lynnwood in our greater community. So if you want to know what's going on, don't hesitate to stop back there. I mentioned the Soul Things Gifts and Bookstore, where you will meet Marion, this book shopkeeper. She has something for you, a gift. This is the Daily Word, and it is a small book of daily inspirations and affirmations, which is a wonderful, uplifting way to start your day. If you haven't had one before, please stop by and check it out. We want to give you a complimentary copy. I have a few announcements and invitations, and always the reminder to go to our website, www.unityinlynnwood.org, to see what's happening and to sign up for all activities. Today's flowers are dedicated by the Thorpe family to honor all mothers and to those that mothered us. And by Callee, with love, in honor of Molly, Janet, and Pat. If you'd like to make a flower donation or dedication, please register in the gift shop for a suggested offering of $25. Thank you, Callee. Today's flowers are really gorgeous. You'll see small group ministries offerings on the screen behind me. Please join any or all of Unity in Lynnwood's activities as you see them there on your screen. And the final announcement is that on Sunday, May 21st at 6 p.m., licensed counselor Michael Matthews will provide simple steps that you can take to better your own mental health in a presentation called We Get Better, Making Mental Health Practical and Approachable. Offered on a love offering basis, the event will include questions and answers. This program is proudly presented by our Youth and Family Ministries, and it's a wonderful opportunity to invite friends and families. It will be available also online via stream, and childcare will be provided. So, thank you for joining with us today on this special day. And Dr. Richard, I'll turn the baton back to you.
Good morning, and good morning. It is the honor of an incarnation to bask in the nobility of you, for the privilege of being in your presence today. I end with words of gratitude. Thank you, Matthew Wilson. What you don't know about Matthew is that he sang at Unity of New York early this morning and at Unity in Lynnwood this morning. You must be exhausted. And Linda, thank you. It dawned on me in your noble words that I have failed to explain the rules of a Sunday morning to you. So I should like to review them now. If you want to sing along, sing. If you want to clap, clap. If you want to wave your hands or do a little dance, you may wave your hands or do a little dance. Those are the rules. Sunday mornings are not something I do to you. It's something we do together. Something we do together. And I am privileged to do it together with you. So, Linda, thank you for your impeccable words. Please consider again visiting the wedding and event gazebo following church. Enjoy that piece of paradise. Take a deep breath. Let's close the outer eyes. Let's close with that same discipline with which we began. We call it prayer. It does not matter what you call it. I encourage you to find your own words for the process by which you elevate consciousness. Find your own word. Find your own label. I will call it prayer today, however. And I'll begin with the noble assertion that transcendent realm, by whatever name we choose to call it, can never be absent. Can never be absent. Which means the God of our understanding is right where we are. It's in this place. It's in this moment, fully as the presence of life, wisdom, sufficiency, an equilibrium and a balance that knows how to be itself through its creation. So I close then with the bold assertion that life is having its way as me, that wisdom, that sufficiency, that balance and equilibrium are alive, vigorous in me, pressing only to be recognized, welcomed, and expressed. So I give thanks then. My prayer becomes one of gratitude. I give thanks for the reality of my presence here today, fully supported by the God of my understanding. I declare it to be enough. I declare it to be enough. And I give thanks that it is so. And so it is. And we close this time together as we always do with sung words of blessing, with sung words of farewell.
May the long time sun shine upon